Hello everybody, it's ya boy the Cauterizer, and I'm back with fire. Now this is my loadout that I've actually been using for a long while. Wasn't actually able to post it up because I swapped my main to Celestial. This is the actual preferred fire loadout that I have been using for a while. Boasts more damage than the other videos that I had. They worked for a while, for they kind of did some hot fixes on them and changed some things, so this is a pretty good fire loadout. Anyways, good to see you guys, and we'll jump right into everything. Into the powers in the immolation tree. We're taking everything except for reignite and stoke flames. So that's immolation, flashpoint, inflame, meteor, volcanic calamity, burnout, spontaneous combustion, fiery weapon, inferno, and overheat. Now onto the ignition tree, we're taking fireball and wildfire. And the iconics, we're going to be taking Weapons Expert, Tactical Genius, and Wisdom of Solomon for that bonus power. We're a little power hungry as a fire. Go over the skill points actually for once. The flight, I always take my breakouts. They're really useful, give you resistances and give you power back when you break out. So these are really nice to get. I always grab them on everything I play. I'm dual wield, which is the best weapon for fire. I actually had to farm for my dual wields all day today. 70 marks of fury. Just to get my dual wields, because apparently I deleted them. But anyways, you're going to go down. Make sure you, since we're a weapon mastery, we're going to be grabbing all of our crits more than our might. So crits are going to be very important. When grab my might, grab my defense so I can get extra points, got my weapon masteries, and grab the might precision at the bottom. Make sure we don't forget this here. To the bow. Same thing, grab my weapon combos, make sure I can get my bow mastery, get my crit. The power, I would say the power is more important on the fire DPS than the defense or anything else. I mean, fire's a power whore, you're going to need that power. So, there's your power. Got the defense so we can get down, get the precision, going to help our weapon attacks, and get the might precision right there. In the brawling, I went down, got some defense, got my crits, got my might precision, and I got more power. Down here. Into the brawling, went down, just got my crit. The hand blaster, same thing, crits. Martial arts, get your crits. One-handed, crit. Rifle, crits. Crits all the way down, you get all your crits. Down two-handed, skip staff, there you go. And like I said, you want to stat prioritize your crits, your might, and your precision. Might over precision, and then power. You're going to need a lot of power as a fire DPS because we burn through it quite often. Now, straight in for the loadout, we're going to be taking Inferno, Overheat, Wildfire, Spontaneous Combustion, Fiery Weapon, and Volcanic Calamity. This is going to burn enemies. It's going to do damage over time. It's a static AoE. We're just going to place it on the ground. And whenever the tank or whoever is in it gets hit, it's going to reflect damage, and that buff's called Immolation. Overheat, this is just, you put it on one target and it's a damage over time AoE, and when Immolation is active, your target's going to take extra damage from the dot and you're going to receive a small heal. Wildfire, this is solely for spreading your burns. If ads aren't on fire as fire, you don't do any damage. Some powers you can get away with not using your power interactions very often, but if things aren't burning 100% of the time, you're gonna do no damage. Straight up, your abilities are going to be doing less than half the damage they can. So it's really important as fire to make sure everything's on fire all the time, which is kind of another reason why it's a power whore, having to waste extra power burning things so you can DPS them. But it's just how it is. We deal with it. And wildfire is the best ability in fire for lighting groups on fire. It's really fast, really low power cost, gonna burn them really easily. Spontaneous combustion, this is our main damage move here. We're just gonna weapon mastery and hit this. Burning enemies instantly take additional damage, and the cool thing about this is when you hit an enemy with it, it kind of puts like a charge on them thing. Whenever you hit them with weapon attacks, your weapon mastery, they're gonna detonate and do more damage, so it's gonna give you extra burst. Fiery weapon, hands down the best weapon buff in the game. I'll show you guys the stats on that a little bit. And striking a burning enemy may deal damage to provide a healing effect. The damage isn't very much. It's only going to give you 1 tick of damage when you first hit them. That's not the important part, but it's all the crits that we're getting from this. It's really important on fire. And Volcanic Calamity Supercharge. I know some people like running Robot. I don't. I think Robot's garbage. And this here, there's a reason why. I'll show you guys that later. But it's a standard 50% supercharge. It's a static AoE. It's gonna, you know, root them, stun them. It doesn't set them on fire, however, so just take note of that. If you want to save power by just DPSing something, you can't hit Volcanic Calamity and then go right into Spontaneous. You are going to have to set them on fire with Wildfire. Anyways, I'll show you guys what everything looks like here. Well, there's Keebler practicing his munitions. Hi, Keebler. Anyways, so this is Inferno, right there. Now, you guys see the little sweet tooth fire I have on my head here? That's the immolation buff. That's how you know it's active, okay? And remember, our overheat benefits more damage from having immolation up. So, go ahead and overheat. This is what this looks like. Short little damage, and then it's going to just fire tick, radiate damage to everyone around us. And this is Wildfire. It's really quick, low power. You guys can see how much it's using there. You know, there you go, and he's on fire. Everything that gets hit by this is going to be set on fire. It's a pretty huge radius, guys, and it's really quick. The Spontaneous Combustion, that's what he does. The animation could have been a little better, but it's okay. Fiery Weapon, your hands are going to be on fire. Now this is the buffs that it gives you. It's going to give you 10% critical weapon attack damage, 10% critical ability attack damage, and 7% weapon attack and ability attack chance. So I mean, it covers your whole fronts. Most powers are only going to give you, you know, the ability power buff. So this is going to benefit both our dual wield attacks into the bow and also our spontaneous everything else, and it gives us the might. It's a 15% might buff. So there you go. And then I'll save the volcano since I can't quite just build it up so quick. I'll show you guys that in a bit. But anyway, standard rotation, what we typically do here with fire is I generally never weapon mastery Inferno because it's a DPS loss versus the time it would take to cast Spontaneous. The only point of weapon mastering Inferno is to give you power. It saves power because it is a very expensive move. So, and like I said, it's not going to hit near as hard as Spontaneous is, so it's just better to make sure the only time you're weapon mastering this is saving power. Now normally I'll just go Inferno, hit Overheat, and then hit Fiery Weapon. I'll clip Overheat with Fiery Weapon just like this. And not like that, but then just go right into Weapon Masteries. And like I said, we never touch Wildfire on our bar unless we need a light new adds on fire. That's the only time we use it. It's the only purpose. You can switch it out for Robot, but I don't recommend it because Inferno has a long cooldown, and like I said, if things aren't on fire, you don't do good damage, and there's times where you'll hit an Inferno and then drop, and then if you get picked back up, you have 8 seconds where you literally can't do any damage because nothing's on fire, unless someone else can put them on fire for you. Maybe if you're running with a fire tank or something, it'd be good to switch out Robot, but I still wouldn't really recommend it. You can, but Wildfire is just, if you, like I said, you need something to light people on fire. It's low power cost, big radius. You're gonna need it. So you'll hit Inferno and go Overheat Fiery Weapon, just like that, and that sets up your dots. And then pretty much all you're doing is weapon mastering Spontaneous Combustion. It's really simple. You just make sure you keep your up times, just like that. You can cheese some damage in with the dual wield to if I had power. Doing like that to where you can clip the hold triangle just to cheese some free damage in, and nothing too giving you a ridiculous amount of damage or something hard to pull off, but you know, it's just a spot where we can throw in extra cheese. A thing here, so we'll show you the overheat damage real quick. You see that's doing 400, and you guys can see the damage it's doing. Now the immolation buff makes it do more damage, which you would say, wouldn't you always want the immolation buff on doing damage? Well, yeah. But a lot of fires don't do that because, I don't know, one, they don't care, but also you kind of have to be, you know, in your fire circle, which puts you yay close to the adds. So a lot of people won't really sit here because they know it'll kill them. That's my phone. But there's a trick that you can do, and it's a clip. So pretty much all you're doing is you lunge the target like that. You just lunge in, but whenever you want to stop, where you want to stop in your lunge is when you hit the power. So I'll use Wildfire, for example, because it's a low cooldown. You see how I can stop halfway if I want to. I can stop closer but not hit him. You know, I could lunge just to inch myself forward if I wanted. So what you do with the overheat, it's really simple. Once you have these going, you can lunge in and clip it. Now, when you're about here, you're a little out of the fire ring, but this is your range for immolation right here. You know, it's going to put you at mid-range. You're going to be right next to everything, but you're still really close. So you want to, when you do that, you want to, in between your weapon masteries, try to like scoot back. You know, you don't want to be sitting in their face the whole time, unless obviously you know it's safe. There are times where I just sit this close to the boss all the time. If I know he's not going to hit me, you know, I have good observation skills. I can see when things are going to hit me. I'll just roll out. But it's not a DPS loss to jump in, do that, and then roll out. You don't have to. Just like I'm saying, be safe, read your situations. But that's going to make sure you're having overheat, immolation as much as possible. Now, you're not going to 100% of the time have to keep it up. It's not going to destroy your damage. But, you know, take advantage of it when you can. So, like I said, we're going to hit Inferno. I'm going to jump in, hit overheat, fiery weapon. We're at this distance right here. Bam. Just hit the damage. It's really simple to play fire. There's also little tricks like the overheat thing that kind of sets fire players apart. A lot of players really aren't that good with fire. A lot of them will use the advanced mechanic, which is just absolute garbage, but some people like it. That's fine. I run the AM loadout sometimes just because it's fun, and the power back, I just like the way it works, but it's not really that viable, especially compared to the damage that this does compared to the AM. It's literally almost twice as much effective. The fire advanced mechanic's probably the worst in the game. So I'll go ahead and show you guys some AoE burn real quick, so you guys see what that you'd hit in a big group, right? And target the guy here. See if I can go ahead and hit everything on him. Go ahead and hit that. Get up a little bit. Bam. And about every 3, I believe, about every 3 weapon masteries, you have to refresh that, your Inferno, and you just kind of keep rocking it. You know, it's really good burst damage, and you guys notice every time I hit a weapon mastery, when a dot crits, it makes all my dots crit, and that's the glory thing about fire. Every time you hit a weapon mastery in spontaneous, everything crits. Your burn dot crits, your immolation dot will crit, and your overheat dot will crit. You're getting 3 dots that are critting, and I mean the burst damage is insane on this power. I'm going to show you guys a little trick. You can actually do this with a couple other powers. I kind of had it in my Earth video, my other fire videos too, but I'm going to go ahead and show you again. You can actually weapon mastery the supercharge. Pretty much what you're doing is you just hit a weapon mastery, you'd hit a power, and clip with fire weapon like you normally would. Or, you know, if you Inferno fiery weapon, just like that. It's the same thing, but it said you just hit the supercharge and do it. So I'll show you. Just like that, 10k. Bam, another 5k from it. I mean, I've gotten this thing to crit every single tick. It's pretty ridiculous. And I've gotten 60k out of the supercharge in a raid before. Just one supercharge, which is a lot of damage. And it's gonna boast. It's more for burst damage. I usually actually save my supercharge for ads, not because I'm trying to cheese damage. I'm just trying to get through the raid as fast as possible. And fire really excels at burning groups of ads. It's not the strongest single target in the game. Hardlight probably has that, but AoE, nothing really comes close to it. Maybe Celestial. Celestial's really great AoE, but fire's just the other power in the game that the more ads you add, the harder it is to keep up with a fire DPS. They just melt groups. It's really insane. Anyways, I hope you guys liked my video and learned from my tips. Practice out yourself. I really appreciate you guys watching my videos and keep up the support. Kind of keeps me moving. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think. I'm Cauterizer. I'm out. Peace.